Hello there, Aquarius. Welcome to your tarot reading. So I'm going to relay some messages that came out for you guys while I was shuffling the cards, and then we're going to get the spread laid out for this month, and then I'll go into that, okay? The first thing here is you're going to be able to blast through some obstacles. So that overall is a really good thing, okay? However, there is a caveat to that. Here's the thing. I feel like, through the strength of your conviction, and a lot of the times I mentioned that, when you're very directed, you're a little bit tunnel vision. When you want to know something, I feel like you will, forge ahead and just be very, very directed and a little bit pushy too in the quest for finding out information, right? And a lot of the times, the information that people tell you, it doesn't really align with the things that you already have in your head, so you might not be ready to hear it, okay? So I feel like on the one hand, you will be able to, through the sheer force of your determination, overcome a lot of obstacles in your own life. You don't take no for an answer, and you're forced to be reckoned with. But on the other hand, I almost feel like a lot of the times we need to be a little bit more strategic about where we are diverting our energy, in what causes we really believe in, and whether or not we need to advocate, whether or not we need to shout things out from the rooftop, or whether or not we should be strategic and go quietly without having to advertise to everybody what we're doing, okay? So I feel like keeping mum might be the word for this month, where you need to keep things close to your chest and not let too many people know what you're up to, because I feel like you need to, sit alone with it and then internally try to dissect it and try to sift things out before you interact with another person. Because if you bring ideas too soon into the public, other people might have an opinion about something that might differ from you. And even though you feel like, okay, there's some validity to what they're saying, but because it automatically, comes up, confronts whatever you believe in, then you might just defend whatever initially you believed in without having all the details, mainly because you feel this opposition coming through from the other person. So I feel like sitting still, mulling over your ideas before you present it to the world is going to be really important for you to figure out, what are some of the pros and cons, and what are some of the things that I've overlooked in the process of defending this belief, or, thinking about this one way in which I have to forge ahead. Like, where are the blind spots that I'm not aware of? So going through that process internally, really sifting it out before you bounce ideas off another person, I feel it's going to be important for you, okay? So blasting through obstacles, I feel that's going to be good for you. I feel for some of you too, there's this period of waiting that is making you feel quite uncomfortable. It's like waiting for more information, waiting for more feedback, waiting on, I feel like for some of you, performance review, performance evaluation as well. Okay, so I do sense that as well. And I also feel a lot of you, there's an offer on the table, but you don't know financially if it's going to pan out for you. Okay, and so for those of you who have an offer on the table, and you're not really sure, like, oh, I don't know if I should go ahead with that. I don't know if it's going to pay enough. I feel that it's going to pay enough, and I feel that it's going to be good for you to go ahead with it. Don't overthink, don't overanalyze. Go ahead with it, and I feel that it's going to work out tremendously, okay? I'm also feeling as well, there is going to be a helper coming into the picture. And the helper, I feel like this is somebody that is... through an act of generosity, through either they're providing like financial assistance, they might tell you about a financier, they might tell you about a funding source that can actually help you move ahead with projects. If you are looking for loans, for example, they might tell you of somebody that, you know, can provide like really low interest rates on loans that you should look into. So I feel like they're giving you bits and snippets of information, financial information that can really be prosperous for you. And then for others of you, I feel like somebody is coming through with a physical helping hand in order for you to achieve something that you wanted for quite some time. They're giving you, you know, like physically a helping hand. They might give you like a pointer, or they might give you something physical in order to help you through a process. Okay. So you have some really strong things coming through for this month. I don't feel it's going to be like an entirely smooth sailing month, despite, you know, the helper coming in. But I feel like, you know, the way in which you communicate with other people and, you know, being a lot more receptive. Okay. So rather than exhibiting, you know, like that Queen of Swords energy where she has her sword up and her hands outstretched, you know, I feel that you need to be able to appeal to somebody on an emotional level in order to get them on board, and in order for to allow them to see a little bit more of that vulnerable side to you, so that they feel like they can trust you, and they feel that, you know, with that emotional connection, it allows people to trust us, right? And so it's not all logic based. It's not about, you know, presenting the most coherent, cogent argument. It's about allowing ourselves to open up to others on a human level, so that other people feel that, you know, they're emotionally in tune with you, and then they can help you move your projects along, or they can help you get yourself to the direction that you need to be, okay, or you've been wanting to get into. You have some very similar cards to Gemini, and it's really interesting because I did Gemini right before this, and I shuffle the cards. I'm using like, I have multiple decks of this same deck. I have multiple decks of this, and you're getting very, very similar cards to them. So let me just see here. Okay. So first of all, the major theme for this month is how we relate to others, okay? And whether or not we can emotionally appeal to other people, so that we're all on board with the same thing. We're all on board with the same ideas. We're all on board with the same project, okay? So this is traditionally what I think about, like, this is a card about job interviews, okay? When it shows up in the reverse, it's usually like going on a job interview where people are talking about you. And then when it's in the upright position, acing a job interview, doing something really, really well, so that other people want you on their team, they want you on board, okay? And I feel one of the main thing is that I feel that a lot of you have been waiting on this for quite some time, okay? So for the past 2 months even. And you're just like, when is this going to come in for me, okay? And I honestly feel, because you are an Aquarius, you have a habit of doing this, where you really want something, and then the moment that it starts to emerge that is actually going to happen for you, you start to get cold feet, and you're just like, do I really want that? Because it feels so final, you know, like if you want something and you see it emerging on the horizon, if you really want that job and you see it emerging on the horizon finally, despite all the time that you've been waiting on it, but you get cold feet and you get scared, and you tell yourself, like, do I really want that? Is that in my best interest right now? Is that going to require too much of a change in my life in order to get that thing? So I feel like for a lot of you, this might be like a project. This might be like a major advancement that you've been wanting for some time, and now that it's coming into the picture, you're getting really, really cold feet. I feel a lot of fear in this spread, okay? A lot of fear of change, fear of venturing outside of your comfort zone, fear of having to bounce around, fear of not being able to make it, and fearing that other people are not going to see you as a competent, as a smart, as an intelligent, as a capable person. So there's a lot of fear in this spread. And, you know, everyone has their fears, but I feel like your fears start in the head, right? And, you know, you cycle through your fears. You think about it over and over and over again. When you go to sleep, you think about it. The first thing in the morning that you wake up, that's the first thing you think about. And so your fears start to spin out of control. So one of the things that we need to, you know, really think about is don't cross that bridge until you get there. Okay. If there's a problem that you're anticipating on the horizon, like in October or in November, don't cross that bridge until you get there. Don't exert all your energy feeding into this fear. That's like, months down the line. It might not, or it might or might not materialize, but I feel like you're feeding into something that is not real at this present moment in time. So staying grounded, enjoying, whatever you have here in the present moment is going to be very important for you, and cross that bridge when you get there down the line. Okay. So that's just my overall advice for you. So here's what I'm sensing as well. A lot of you are in a financially stuck type of a relationship. Okay. And I feel like financially, if you are coupled up with another person, I feel that the other person might be draining your resources, okay? I feel like this is a person that is not capable of taking care of themselves. For whatever reason, they're not making the most out of the opportunities that are presented in their lives, okay? So they might have some type of fear about venturing out into the work environment. They might have fears about for whatever reason. There's a lot of insecurities here, okay, associated with the person that you're in a relationship with. For whatever reason, they feel like, they haven't gotten the proper education. They feel like they haven't gotten the proper credential. And so they fear failure when they go out to look for work, when they go out to look for jobs, or when they go out to, promote themselves. So as a result, they don't really do anything. So they're very stagnant in their own life. If you are like married or living with, or for whatever reason with this person, I feel that you are shouldering the financial and the emotional burden in this relationship. And this is a situation where the both of you are stagnating because energetically you're blocking each other. Okay. If one person wants to like better their lives and look for opportunities and expand, and the other person is all about retrenchment. Okay. Not making proper changes, not wanting to do anything different. And they're fearful overall of how other people judge them when they have to go on the job interview process. Nobody likes that, okay? But nobody likes to be judged. Nobody likes to have to prove themselves in the public sphere. But I feel that there's a lot of fear associated with this. So energetically, you are blocking each other. You're no longer growing in this relationship. And I feel like the other person might have wanted to leave for quite some time, but because of financial entanglements, because of financial security, they're staying in the relationship. So I feel that you need to really, try to resolve this situation between you and your partner, because it seems like it's very problematic. It seems like you both are growing apart. You're not growing to your potential. They're not growing to their potential as a result of this safety net, this crutch of a relationship. Okay. So there are some things here that we can no longer turn a blind eye towards. Okay. So we really need to address these things and not let them exacerbate further down the line. Okay. So taking initiative, taking charge is something that you're going to have to do as it relates to your household. Okay. So you might be living with a partner. You might be married to a partner. Taking charge is something that you need to do in order to get yourself to a happier place. Okay. So that's just for some of those Aquarius that are dealing with this, okay? A relationship that feels like very stagnant, that is financially hurting you as well, okay? On the other hand, what I feel here is this. So I mentioned earlier that, a lot of the times you're a straight shooter, right? And I feel like other people might have a difficult time connecting to you emotionally, okay? And, everybody has an emotional side to them, and you're not an exception, Aquarius. It's just sometimes it takes a very, very, someone who's like very patient, someone who is, that you really trust with your heart, like wholeheartedly, in order for you to open up to them. Okay. So I feel like this is the month in which you are going to have like a very, very candid, soulful, very honest discussion with another person about, where things are headed between the two of you, whether or not, I feel like the idea here is about, what I feel for you versus, where my life is going. So these two are going to be coupled up in a discussion that you have with another person. And you might, for all, intent and purposes, have like the best feelings in the world with this person. You might really, really care about this person. Like on a human level, you really care about this person. You might have been through a lot with the other person. Okay, you might have been through a lot. But for whatever reason, what you want in the relationship is conflicting with your public image. Okay, so it might be like what you want to happen for yourself. Family, children, kids, etc. Marriage, even. And what you need to do in order to move your career ahead. These two things are kind of like not aligning right now in your life. And it's not aligning in a way where you can see yourself with this person long term, or you can see yourself. So I feel like you're going to have a major, major discussion here with another person about these things. And I feel honestly that there's a lot of love here. But I feel like, career, public image, finances are really getting in the way of the relationship. Okay. So I'm sensing that there's going to be, some of you might end a relationship. Others of you might revisit this relationship at a later time when you're ready. So either way, I feel like it might lead to a separation and maybe even reconnecting at a later time when your finances, when your career is on track. Okay, so I feel like some difficult decisions need to be made. And I feel like you have been procrastinating on this decision for quite some time, because I feel like it's hard for you. Like a lot of the times, Aquarius, when you get emotionally attached to somebody, it's not an easy feat, okay? And it doesn't happen very often. So once you find somebody that really emotionally just allows you to open up, it's hard for you to let go of that emotional attachment. And so I feel like it is a strong emotional attachment, but you have bigger things that you need to worry about. You have like your career, you have your financial situation, you have like these bigger things that you need to do for individual character development. You have these, lofty goals that you want for yourself 5 years, 10 years down the line. And you feel like this relationship might get in the way, or it's not in alignment where you can see your career and your relationship headed in the right direction, in the same direction. So it's a little bit of a challenge here that I'm sensing for some of you. For those of you, especially who have been, if you are not at all concerned about your financial situation, and if you are especially in the self-employed field, okay, so this can be whatever work that you're doing where you don't really answer to another person, you're answering to yourself, or you're answering to, clients' demand, etc. There might be a little bit of a slowdown this month when it comes to self-employment, okay? So just a little bit of a slowdown, a little bit of financial worries, a little bit of financial dip. Be very careful about overindulging and overspending, okay? So that's coming through. And I also feel as well, relocation travel is really going to eat into your expenses, or I'm sorry, it's going to make up the bulk of your expenditures. And so be very careful to, not dip into your savings. Save up for a rainy day and try to stay put. For a lot of you, try to stay put, because I feel like there might be a lot of frustration here as it deals with travel. And there might be additional money that is dished out as a result of having to travel. Okay. So I do feel that overall we have a little bit of a mixed bag. Okay. But I do sense, there will be a lot of people that will be in the picture to help you. I just feel overall you need to stay put and you need to start, strategizing. So think about it like this. It's you're an air sign. It's a spread for Aquarius. There is not a single sword in the picture. Okay, so I feel like you're making very emotional decisions this month, and you need to start strategizing in order to make these decisions. Okay, so it's really important for you to, not make decisions on the spur of the moment, and not make these especially impulsive decisions to travel, to branch out, to do something very drastic with your career without really sitting down, mulling it over. So I feel a lot of a big impulsive energy. But I feel overall, the relationship sector, it looks to me to be like you're getting a lot of support. You're getting, you're getting support and even communication from people who really care about you. Okay. And they're trying to steer you in the right way. But I feel like you might be a little bit impulsive for this month. So I'm going to go into your love reading, Aquarius, and I hope it looks better. Okay. I feel like some of you are going to be taking, the month of May to really think about your finances, where all of your money has gone. Okay, so that message came out strongly. It's almost like, I worked so hard and I saved up so much. Where did all the money go? And then some of you might realize, like, in the past, you might have really overindulged, and the money has been, wasted. And then others of you, I feel like you might be thinking that, you need to curb your spending, and you need to, really think about long-term investment. Okay, so I see investment opportunities. And I know this is a love reading, but those ideas are coming forth. So let me just see here. Love relationships. Okay, so this is definitely looking good. It's definitely looking really good for you guys. Okay, so let me just talk about this first. I usually pick up the middle cards, okay? So we have here the Nine of Cups as well as the Sun. The Nine of Cups and the Sun basically indicates overall there's going to be a lot of opportunities for socializing, outings, and I feel like the socializing and the outings is between you and another person. Okay, so it's like a very exclusive type of social outing, like going out, whining and dining with another person, and just having a very good connection. Okay, emotionally and just career wise. So I feel like for some of you, if you have been single, if you have been, spending the past few months just in seclusion, somebody is breaking you out of your rut, and somebody is giving you opportunities to, get to know them and to engage with them one-on-one, and spending a lot of time, showering you with a lot of time. And, just, I'm feeling like you have narrowed down your choices to one person specifically, and you're spending a lot of time with them. Okay. So I feel like in the past, let me talk about this. And this is a good thing overall. This is the Hermit. So this has shown up in the past. A lot of you have been very jaded about love, and you have been very skeptical. Okay. So I feel like since 2016, some of you are just like, I don't really know if I want to, expend my energy to date, because the dates are just not, I'm not dating people that really want to build a relationship. They just want to have fun, and, they're not really my type. So I feel like there was lack of success overall in dating. And then on top of that, you had trouble. I feel like some of you were cycling through exes. You had trouble letting go of exes. And there were as well a lot of exes contacting you. A lot of people from the past just wouldn't leave you alone, contacting you, or you were like thinking heavily about the past and not able to let it go. So I feel an element here about a self-imposed isolation that happened in the recent past, possibly for the last 4 months or so. And I feel that some of you are bothered by exes. Some of you are refusing to let the memories of the exes go, and to experiment and, go out and date new people. So I feel that you're very much stuck in the past, relationship in the past. And so when you start to break out of your shell, and this might have been in April, this is like coming out of your isolation, okay? Coming out of fear and just like the fears associated with having to go out, having to dress up, having to impress another person, having to do small talk to get to know another person. You don't like to do those things. You're not a superficial sign. And so you have, I feel like you have somewhat like kept to yourself. You went out on a few dates here and there, but you pretty much kept to yourself because the options, the people didn't really live up to your expectations, okay? So I feel some of you are still dealing with this, and then some of you are taking the time this month to really socialize and stepping out of your shell. And I feel that you have met somebody that you feel you can build a future with, okay? The Three of Pentacles is a card about collaboration. It's a card about compromise. It's a card about overall people, like needing to cooperate and also communicate in a way that allows them to work together, okay? So building a foundation, building a future together, seeing yourself with this person. And I feel a lot of you have met somebody for this month, or are spending a lot of time with somebody for this month, who really wants to invest in the relationship, who really wants to build the relationship with you. I feel a very strong earth sign here. So this is I feel an earth sign possibly in your work environment. So we have here Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? If there is a lot of attraction with this person, I feel like they're very, very serious, and they're very business oriented. So if you're in a dating environment with them, this is somebody that is highly respected in their career, highly respected in their field. They know how to they have a very strong public image, and I feel that they don't take relationships lightly. So I feel like they're still assessing you, and they're still trying to see if you measure up to their expectations. So it's not set in stone yet. I do feel there's attraction here, and I feel like, especially if this earth sign is in your work environment, I feel that there's going to be, opportunities for you both to collaborate, possibly do projects together, possibly going out and having good time with each other as well, like having it's like a mixture of romantic gatherings and also business gathering, like professional contacts gathering together for happy hour, for example. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you, especially if this person is in your work environment. I feel like they're highly respected. They're still not sure, and they're not giving you that 100% emotional investment because they care about their public image. They care about how other people see them, okay? And they don't want to get into messy entanglements in the work environment. I do feel there's a lot of attraction here with this earth sign, but I feel that they don't want to get into messy situations. So there's a lot of attraction, and I feel like it's being it's pushed under the radar. Okay. So I feel like for some of you, you definitely have somebody that you're very, very attracted to. And because you have been attracted to this person for a really, really, really long time, you've kept your dating life on hold in the hopes that the other person will, be a romantic partner to you. So you've kept, options at arm's length. You have quite a few suitors, but you just, push them away, mainly because you're so, and like Aquarius, you are a fixed sign. Emotionally, if you feel like you like somebody, you will like them, till the end of time. Because I feel that for many of you, your love is very pure and it's very loyal, okay? And that's the nature of being a fixed sign overall. With Scorpio, it's the same way, but I feel like more so for Aquarius. And a lot of the times too, when you love somebody, it's not just physical. It's very I want to say it's very spiritual, to the point where if you see them, then you're happy and you don't need anything else. And you feel like, a lot of you might suffer from, where you're loving somebody, but you're not able to tell them how you feel. So I feel like there's an element here, this, it's like feeling very alone in your love, in your appreciation of another person, like admiring them from afar, not being able to tell them how you feel. So I feel like you have an earth sign in your environment that's like that you're doing this too, okay? And because you've liked them for quite some time, you kept yourself isolated. You refuse to move on, and you refuse to date other people. And so I feel like that's a little bit detrimental to you. Always just branch out and take new opportunities when they come in the dating front, okay? I feel some of you are also in a long distance relationship here with the Two of Wands. And because you're in a long distance relationship, you and the other person might not be, exclusive, but you like them a lot. And that's why you're willing to do the long distance relationship. And so you're not dating either. You're not dating other people. You're not really prone to going out and, meeting new people. So I feel that that's also another blockage for you. It's not a bad thing, but I feel like some of you have like you justify to yourself, I'm keeping myself, isolated because I like this person, and I don't want to start dating. I don't want to branch out. It wouldn't be fair to the new person. So that's where we're at right now. And then others, I feel like you're in a relationship. The partner is making you feel quite good. The relationship itself, I feel like this, if you're in a relationship right now, okay? The relationship is going really well, but I feel like something is missing. So we have here the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is a really good card. It's a card about wish fulfillment. It's a card about like emotional, satisfaction overall. But there's only one person in this this card here. So with it being a relationship, I feel like it's a really good, stable, solid relationship, but there's some element of it missing. And I feel like your public image, your public life, there's something here that's not lining up. So I feel like, yes, this person meets all the criteria. They want to, build a future with you. They want to build a future with you, but you might, they might put their career first. They might, there might always be like a lot of people around when you're trying to, meet them. So they might have a lot of responsibilities. They might be a workaholic. They're always working. There's always colleagues or a work associate in their environment. So you might have a difficult time like getting them alone. Okay. So that's what I'm sensing overall. I feel like it's a little bit of a mixed bag. And I also sense that, we have here heavy earth sign coming through, and we have some people in solid relationships where things are actually very stable. And then we have singles eyeing somebody but being too afraid for whatever reason. It might be because they're work colleagues where you're admiring them from afar and you're not really telling them. And there's this very strong, like physical, sexual attraction, this undercurrent, but nothing is like spoken about. Nothing is like verbalized between you and that person. So Aquarius, as expected, you guys are quite eccentric. So I feel like there's like 3 stories here coming up in the reading. So overall, I'm going to stop it here. And I feel like what you really want to do, and the foundation here is focus on your work, focus on your career. Don't let, this fall on the wayside, because I feel like this is what you need foundationally, okay? Your public image, your career. So if you are feeling somebody in the work environment and getting involved with them is really going to hurt your credibility, don't do it, because your foundation here is your public image, is your career, is your success. So don't risk this, okay? So I feel like that's the advice that's coming in for you. And then for others who are, thinking about like whether or not I should get myself out there. I like this person, but I can't really do anything about it. The point here is that you can definitely still have fun, go out with your friends. Don't neglect your social circle. Don't isolate yourself. Give your relationships, friendships, family relationships, give it more attention. Okay. And I'll be back for the mid-month reading. Okay. Take care of yourself, Aquarius. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.